Hey Panthers, happy Thursday. It's Mr. Chris here. It's chapel day. I'm not wearing my normal chapel clothes. I hope you're not either. And so if you don't mind, I'm going to share a few things with you from the comfort of my front porch while I wear my sweatpants. Hey, this is kind of strange, right? This whole thing. We're on day 45 of this, and all these rules about what we can and can't do, and is it going to end soon or is it not, and what is the end of the year going to be like, and you can only leave your house on essential business, all that kind of stuff, right? Well, I don't know about your family, but the definition of essential business, the lines are kind of blurry. And it was about a week and a half ago where we started looking online, and you do crazy things when you're cooped up in the house. And let's just say our definition of essential business started to change a little bit. So last Friday, only 4 or 5 days ago, Nate and Kit and I jumped in the minivan and we drove to Ohio on essential business to add to our family in the name of Piper Harding. Piper Harding. Piper is about a 4-pound golden doodle. He's about 8 weeks old. Absolutely precious. He's not having his best day today. A little bit sick, we think. Not keeping his food down real well. But instead of heavy and lofty and big and kind of chapel, I wanted to do something that you really only get to do a couple times in your life. I wanted to talk to you about my new puppy. But specifically, I want to share with you 4 things that God is teaching me about himself through Piper. All right, join me. Okay, ready? Number 1, newsflash. God is good. He knows how to give good gifts. Have you noticed something about the way us humans are? We are just universally attracted to cute, right? I mean, you could have a biker, come in and pull up to your house on his motorcycle, and you're like, what the heck's going on? He knocks on your door and he's all gruff. And if you were to present him a kitten, he would melt, because kittens are cute. Puppies are cute. Babies are cute. And God has put something in us that we just are naturally drawn to the helplessness, the beauty, and we all have this desire to take care of life. This is the way it says in Matthew, in Matthew 7, it's part of the Sermon on the Mount. You guys have heard this before, and we were kind of nervous about what kind of dog we were going to get, right? And it just reminded me when we picked him up, and there was just just an absolute awesome first impression of this dog, as he's so excited to see us. He's running around, he's licking our face. This is what it says: ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and it will be opened to you. Have you started to forget to ask God for good things? He has a heart to bless. It says, for everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks it will be opened. Which one of you, if his son asks him for a bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a serpent? If you then, man, who are evil, if you know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him? God is good. He is the author of life. He's put something in us, just like him. We're image bearers, and we just love to take care of life. There's nothing in the human spirit that doesn't look at this dog and says, I will protect you, I will hold you, I will take care of you. We didn't figure that out because we're good. That's hardwired into us because we bear the image of God. And so I just want to remind you of how awesome God is. When you look at something this precious, we didn't come up with it. It was God's idea. Oh, yeah. Okay, number 2. He delights in us. He delights in us. Like, what makes a puppy so awesome? Not just because it's cute, but because he delights in us. I will never forget meeting this guy for the first time. Oh my goodness. Never forget meeting this guy for the first time. And he gave me kisses. Oh my gosh, I'm hooked. I'm hooked forever. And it's not that much different when it comes to us and God. He delights in our affection. He delights in our attention. He likes it when we pay attention to him, when we abide with him, something we've been talking about on Wednesday nights. He likes it when we just hang out with him, okay? And the Bible is just so many examples of the Bible talking about this. Here it is in Psalm 18, verse 19. It says, he brought me out into a broad place. And we got you from a broad place, right? And it says, he rescued me. Why? Because he delighted in me, okay? We saw a picture of Piper on the internet, and for the next 7 or 8 days while we had to wait to go get him, we couldn't wait to meet him. We couldn't wait to be with him. That's a picture of how God feels about you. He knits you together in your mother's womb, and he's waiting for that day where you are face to face, reunited in his presence, okay? So he delights in us. Ready? Number 3, God's teaching me, reminding me that love comes at a price. We didn't just get to go hop over to Ohio on a whim and just, put our hands out to the breeder and say, okay, time to give me the dog. He cost us something. He cost us a lot, to be honest. And we had to drive, spend the night in a hotel. And then I had no idea about this whole dog world because we're not really dog people just yet, but we're getting there, right, Piper? But you gotta buy everything. You gotta buy a crate, and you gotta buy toys, and you gotta buy a brush, and you gotta buy special food, and he's gotta have just the right dog bowls. And of course, we had to buy him a bow tie. I mean, that makes sense, right? Of course, the dog has to have a bow tie. He's 8 weeks old, and there's so many things that you have to do when you love someone. So I am reminded of what it says in 1 Corinthians 6. Piper doesn't own Piper anymore, does he? Like, we own him. And it says in 1 Corinthians 6 that you are not your own. You are not your own, Christian. You were bought with a price, and you're worth it. You're worth it. God paid a ransom for you. It cost him his life. We sacrificed a little bit for this dog. We thought he was worth it. But God sacrificed his son for you. You're worth it. So that's the big picture. And I think the small picture applies too. Love is expensive. Guess what I've been doing all day? I've been coming in and out, trying to potty train this dog. Obsessing over what he's eating, obsessing over his training, trying to figure out how in the world we're going to do this and how in the world we're going to do that. And I really haven't gotten a lot done today. Love is expensive. Relationships that involve love cost you something. You find out a lot of times that when you love someone, you come second. They come first. So God has reminded me through Piper that love comes at a price. Okay, number 4. Piper has been used by God to remind me that he is God and I am not. I am not. It says this in Isaiah 55. You know this verse well, but this has really come to mind lately. It says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." Piper has no idea what I'm thinking or what I'm doing. He has no idea that all the training we're doing has a purpose. He has no idea why we ring the bell every time he goes outside to kind of train him how to go to the bathroom. Has no idea why we move the bowl away after 5 or 10 minutes so that he doesn't get the idea that he can graze all day with his food. Has no idea why we're going to go to the vet tomorrow, even though it's likely to be uncomfortable, right? So I don't want to worship a God that I can understand. I don't want to worship a God where I know the answers better than he does. That would make me God and not him. Okay, that's not how it works. So just like Piper can't figure out how incredibly wise I am, I have no sense of how far above me God is. But I'm glad he owns me. I'm glad he loves me. I'm glad he delights in me. I'm glad he bought me at a price. So that is what God is teaching me through Piper. I feel very blessed. Like I said, thanks for indulging me. I only get to talk about, you only get to talk about something like this a few times in your life. And I am thankful to God for this guy. So, tell you what, guys, things are weird right now, right? God's in control. His ways are higher than our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. And just like all the things that we're doing have a reason, he knows what he's doing, okay? So let's thank him, let's delight in him, and maybe just even take some time to abide in him today. Just maybe sit down figuratively in God's lap and hang out with him. Tell him that you love him. That's all I got, Panthers. Love you guys. Hope to see you soon.